everybody. It's great to have you with us today. We're just joining together on the couch as we come together to celebrate Mother's Day and have a chat about mothers and what the Bible says about mothers and some of our experiences as mothers. So it's great to have Caitlyn with us this morning and Kath and Vonda, and we're just going to share some of our experiences about mothers. So let's have a chat about motherhood and some of the great things about being a mum, some of the things that you might struggle with as being a mum, and how the Bible has been an encouragement to you as a mum. So is there anything in particular that you would like to share? Have you got a favourite verse or something that's been a real encouragement to you?
I'd probably have to say Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. It's a plaque we have in the kitchen. I see it every day, and for a warrior like myself, it brings a lot of comfort to know that He's got this. Yeah.
For me, it's probably Romans 8, starting from 26, where it starts by saying, even in our weakness, and then it goes through to 28, where it says, all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. So that I know I've taken comfort in that when I feel like I haven't got it right on that particular day, and I know that God will work it through, whether it's something more I need to do on it or whether He will just work on the situation. It's been helpful.
Mine's the same, Romans 8:28. And if there was ever any problems or anything, you can just relax and know that the Lord has control of everything and He will make it come, whether there's been mistakes, arguments, whatever. He can take control of that and turn it around. And the peace that you feel with knowing that He is in control. He knows everything that's happening. If it's a child, He knows what's happening in that child's life. He can turn that around. And you get peace from that, don't you? Yeah.
And I think being a mum at times is really, really hard. I think one of the worst things that we do as mums is we put ourselves down and we think that we're not doing a great job, and we have days that maybe are not our most encouraging days. I think in those times we really need to remember that our worth comes from God, and we're shocking at comparing ourselves to other mums. I think we just need to realise that God has a plan and a purpose for us, and we just need to do the best job that we can. And I think trusting in the Lord, one of my favourite verses actually comes from Psalm 121. I lift my eyes unto the hills, where does my help come from? And not necessarily the part about our help coming from God, but as you go on in that chapter, it talks about that God never slumbers and He never sleeps. And many times at night where I've been sitting and thinking, Lord, I don't know what to do, or I've got a child who's sick, or, I've got a child who I'm concerned about, and I just think, God, you are watching us all the time, and you look after our little ones and care for our little ones, and you are always there. So yeah. One of my other favourite verses is in Psalms. Ooh, edit that out. No, there's a really precious verse that says, you are precious in my sight and I love you. And I think sometimes we just need to be reminded as mums that God is always on our side. Yeah.
And that we don't have to have all the answers, like that each one of our children He has created, and they are His unique creation as well. So we don't have to have the answers for each of those child all the time. Like He's working within them, especially when we're praying over them, that it doesn't have to come from something within us, that while we're praying over them, He's going to be creating them into the people He's designed them to be.
Yeah. They're all different.
Yes. Yes.
They're all different.
Yes.
Yeah, they can all have different ideas, and you can say something to them all, but each one might have a different idea on what you've said.
That's right.
And that's what we have to accept too. Yeah. They've picked up on what affects them the most.
One of the amazing things about being a mum and being part of family is being part of a church family. So is there a way in which the church family has really encouraged you or inspired you as a mum?
Yes. I message members of the church family at times where I'll say, I'm really worried about this situation with this child. Will you pray for that child for me today? And just having that backup, Nilly. So I'm praying for the situation, and I know God's working already, but just knowing that I can reach out to somebody else who may pray in a different way, who's not so close to the situation, that's been really encouraging and helpful for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely the same. Just having such a lovely group of Christian mums that you can reach out to and ask advice from if you're unsure about how to do something, or they might have been through it before with their little ones, and just have different wisdom to share into that teaching with your little ones. So it's been very encouraging, and I definitely believe it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah,
and we've got a beautiful little village here. Yeah. We're very blessed.
Yeah.
Well, my children are older, so I don't have the same. But what I do enjoy is the young ones with their little ones. And I feel as though I'm a grandma to all these little ones. And I really enjoy seeing them at church, because a lot of those little ones, they just grow up in church, and they seem to know. They know that if they're good in church, they can get out afterwards and run around and play. And so I benefit from the little ones in the church, because I enjoy seeing them with their mums and dads. And
I think we're really blessed in this church to have people who are really understanding of the noise created by little ones. Like, you're not sitting here going, "Oh, please be quiet." You can actually relax, and you're encouraging your kids, just shh, don't do that and put that down there. But you're not stressed about the noise that they're making, because it's accepted as part of having young kids in the church. And I know with my youngest, she will sit there and go, "Oh, can I go and sit next to Mrs. Burrell? Or can I go and say hello to Mr. Skinner?" And she's making her own connections. Aside from me, she's just, because they've shown an interest in her. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful part of being a family.
Yeah, definitely family.
I think something really encouraging for us, and you've touched on it, Caitlyn, about it takes a village to raise a child. And one of the greatest blessings that we've had, and that I've seen with our family, especially our older kids, is the way that they've been encouraged by people within the church. So I think about Mark with his drumming, and that there are members of the music team who have just said to him, "Hey, you're doing a great job and really appreciate you being part of our team." And just seeing people love and encourage our children, whether that be through our church family or through brigades. Like, I know Kimberly has really had some great encouragement and support through the different leaders at brigades. And we've been in the blessed position to be a part of home group over many years. We're part of a home group when our children were little, and part of a home group now. And it's just incredible to walk the journey with people who are at the same stage as you, and who are there to laugh with you, and I guess at some stages cry with you and say, "Hey, I can see you've had a really bad day, but it's okay," and just keep going. So I think the support that comes from that is really important too. Yeah. I know being a mum is really busy at times, and sometimes we feel that our life can be overtaken by our children, but we also know that our husbands are very important. So I would ask you, how do you balance your children and still work on your marriage? That's a big one.
That is a big one.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the ways that I just really love my husband, and one thing that he does for me every day is that he makes me coffee in the morning. And that's something that's really just incredible, to just wake up and have that time to sit and have a coffee before you start your day. And we communicate really well. So we find times where, if our kids are all together, they might be off playing or watching a movie or something, and to just sit and have a cuppa together and touch base and ask, how's your day going? And just stay in touch and keep on top of how things are going, and when things are tough, it's nice to say, okay, we need a bit of time out here and find some time for each other. So, yeah. So ways in which you might encourage your husband.
Yeah. I think it's important to make it a priority. It's a very easy thing to let slip when you're really busy because they're there all the time. So you just pass each other in a hallway or in the kitchen and have your little 2-minute conversation. It's very easy to lose a connection when you're busy connecting in other ways with other members of your family. So for me, it's been really important to make it a priority, to make a night to sit down. We don't do date nights. We don't. We've never felt comfortable in leaving the kids with a babysitter to go and have that time. So we just would do that in our own home on one night a week, and to just turn off the television. The kids are in their rooms, and that's our time to just sit and have the opportunity to delve deeper if there's an issue that's upsetting one or the other, and have the time to talk the whole thing through rather than just brush it aside and hope that it's going to go away and keep moving forward. For us, that's been a really important part of our routine, is to make it a priority to spend a lengthy time together rather than short amount of time. But my husband's very quiet, and he takes a long time to open up to have a conversation, and so he will, even when we're sitting there, it will take him half an hour before he'll relax enough to get into whatever we are discussing. So it's just not possible to do it in a breakfast situation where the kids are in and out. And having dinner together as a family every night. I think that the kids get to experience you as parent, like outside of their parents, but as a couple, and see the way that we discuss our days together.
Well, it changes as the children leave home. Yeah. And you're just the two, and your husband's retired, and there's just two of you. Michael and I have had very fortunate. We've always had a good relationship. We're both fairly easygoing, haven't had any big problems, and it's just great. I love having him home. Yeah. And we can talk anytime we want to. No interferences. So there'll come a time that there'll just be the two of you home, and the children are off and come home and go again. But no, I find it's quite. I feel sorry for families that do have problems. We've never had any big problems or in relationship. So there'll come a time that you'll just be the two of you, and you'll quite enjoy
We
it.
won't have to have a special night. We'll have all the time together.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much the same as what you ladies have discussed already. We love spending time together, like Joseph and I, and making it a priority. So we love doing activities together. So whether that be running or going for a walk and having a chat about your day, or couch time sort of thing every day. During COVID, we've been painting the house together, and it's been really, really nice to do something together and just chat through it. And it's making it a priority. And, very, very blessed.
You have to give and take, as they say. You have to give and take, and listen to what the other person's problem might be. Definitely. And
Yes.
because you can talk about one thing. I know with Michael and I, you can talk about one thing, and in my mind he's saying this, but in his mind he's saying something else. So then later on he'll say, "But I told you that, love." I said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes." And then we come to the realisation we're both thinking something different.
Yes.
So you've got to be prepared for that.
That's the tricky one.
It is the
You've
tricky
got to be prepared for that situation where they're thinking something else to what you're thinking. So that's where some problems can arise
Yes.
in families. Yeah.